Sisterhood Connection. And guess
Oh,
who's back?
look who's back. Look who's back. I know y'all missed me. Look who's back. I missed y'all. I did miss you. I did miss you, but emergency certain things came up and had to handle it. And I'm like, my girl had my back. Y'all better get
Yes.
you a
Now you know what
big
I just thought about? I literally just thought about this. Now she would have me do, and she would have to help go do whatever she had to do on Bizarre and Unique Week. Because you know how she thinks that I'm a little bizarre and a little unique. Just hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up. What you trying to say? You trying to whatever, man. Whatever.
I didn't say it, you did, but it's true, it's accurate.
Mm.
But but really the research you did, and when you told me, I'm like, go handle that. I'm just like, go handle it, girl. You did that. You did that.
That's what I
She
say,
even,
because
y'all
I'm
don't
not
know.
gonna get in this car with you and we ride up to no mountains, riding up to no who knows where, Georgia, playing
No,
around with
Bigfoot.
you, looking for Bigfoot, whatever, Sasquatch.
I live with one. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God, I'm telling. Oh, I'm telling. Ooh, write that down, baby, because I'm
The size,
telling.
ladies, we know the size of the feet.
Here we go again. I'm telling. She
Whatever.
called you a hairy
Listen,
beast.
it's 30 years into this. So listen, whatever.
Hairy beast.
Well, I must say, it was, y'all, let me get back to this. She sent me a map of all the Bigfoot sightings in my little area as if I'm going to go look for them. I
Right.
mean, listen, I'm not dealing with a whole lot of people, just kind of like doing my thing. So when I walk out, it's like, yep, there's one, there's one, there's
You
another
know
one.
what? I'm done. I was just surprised. I literally
I'm
was
just
surprised
kidding.
to see,
Just
like,
kidding.
and I thought, okay, you know how back in the day you hear about Bigfoot, and I'm like, wait, this is like recent. Y'all still looking for Bigfoot? I
Yeah.
don't think he wants or they want to be found.
Girl, we ain't fooling with Bigfoot. No, we don't. But girl, we got a lot to cover today. But I gotta
Mm.
touch on this. This is, y'all know what this episode is. This is our 2 cents.
Yes, it
So
is.
these are our opinions. These are our thoughts. If you don't like it, shut it off.
How about that?
How about
Hmm.
that? This is our two girl. I'm gonna just tell y'all. Y'all remember pre-election? You know when the candidates were doing their thing and traveling all over the country, you
Hmm.
know, vowing for votes. And you remember the president elect, your president said that they were
Lord.
eating your cats and dogs. I mean, your cats and dogs. Cats or dogs are just dogs.
It was cats and dogs. It was
Cats
cat.
and
No, what? You
dogs.
know what? I think it was just dogs, but whatever. They eat animals and dogs.
Yeah, certain, group of people eating cats and dogs. Well, that was, of course, a complete lie. But I do have receipts on what they are eating down here in
In
Florida,
his
South
state,
Florida.
in his area. What
And
they eat, girl? What they
it's
eat?
a girl. Y'all stop buying them eggs. Don't pay them Don't pay $10 for eggs, $5 for eggs. What you need? I'm not going to get them, but I can hook you up. So what they're doing here in Florida is eating iguana eggs for breakfast.
Them little things,
Iguana,
iguana.
iguana. You know them big green eggs. And of course, they say it tastes like chicken.
Mm.
So let me tell y'all, I will never find out. Because listen, one thing is not happening. America will not be going eating anyone's breakfast except for in her own home. Because I can't trust the eggs. And you know they charging 50 cents some places
Mm.
extra per egg. And see, you know what? They just gave all of these restaurants and all these people an idea.
Mm.
We don't have to deal with these egg prices. Go outside and follow these
Yes,
iguanas to their
yes,
nest.
yes, yes.
They won't know because we're cooking for them. Did I just do that?
Mm-hmm.
I just did that.
No, but then you know how it might be a slight dead giveaway is if when you leave the restaurant and you have an army of iguanas surrounding the restaurant, that might be a hint that they got their eggs, they kidnapped them and stole them and ate them. Just saying. Just
I don't
saying.
know, y'all.
But this is your state. This is your
It
president's state.
is your girl will not be doing eggs. So y'all check on y'all people in Florida.
Just
They eat iguana eggs. They are eating.
and that is verified. That you have actual footage of someone eating iguana eggs. So no, we ain't doing all that. Oh, they eating cats and dogs. Oh, they're eating this and so. No, they got a
And they putting it
whole
out
doggone
there.
thing on it.
They did a whole story on it. They putting it. So of course, I'm guarantee you, there's some people, there's some business owners, and I get it. You gotta make a. I get it, y'all. But listen, I don't want. Don't y'all come down here eating breakfast? Don't y'all do it? Don't order nothing with egg. Matter of fact, as far as your cakes and stuff.
Ooh, if your cake has been baked, has cooled, and it comes skittering across your floor, it was made with an iguana egg. I'm just saying. Just saying.
But you
Just
know,
saying.
for to each his own. But we moving on. I'm just saying, check on you if you got people in Florida. I just gave y'all an
This
idea of what's
this
going
has
on.
been your PSA from down south in Florida. Just saying. Take heed. It's up to you. Just
Yeah,
saying.
up to you. It's on you.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, let me ask you a
What else?
question.
What?
So if you come from Florida and you need to make a nice drive, what are you going to ride in? You need some space. You need some super technologically sound space to ride in. Would you choose a Tesla Cybertruck?
You mean
Perhaps.
a trash can? No offense if you
I'm
bought one, but
just
it
saying.
is a
Just
garbage.
saying.
It is a garbage bin. I think we did an episode before.
Comparing what it looked like to what it looks like now. And I'm like, that had to be
Yeah,
where you got that idea from.
girl, they burning up. Okay, I guess. Okay, America is complete. The U.S. is in complete and utter chaos.
No,
Complete and utter. We got iguana egg eating people. We have the diehard Tesla drivers and everything,
the
and yet the
Cybertruck
problem.
drivers. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Cybertruck
yeah.
drivers, and now they're protesting and burning cars
Yep,
and
dunking them in.
burning cars. Damaging property, Tesla, property. Y'all okay? I mean, I'm just checking on my
Okay,
Tesla besties. Are y'all okay? Are y'all?
are y'all? Because while y'all over there dunking them in the water, tearing up property, I'm gonna be over here getting my boots on the ground. I'm just saying. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
We got you,
That's
girl.
what I'm gonna be doing. Okay, I'm gonna get my boots on the ground. But I just want to know.
We're minding our own business.
Yes. Wait. Where's my water? Where's my water? I'm gonna drink water. Oh, and mind my business.
Unbothered.
I'm just saying. But I do have a question. We talked about this because I'm like, is anyone thinking about the potential for the AI programming inside of all of these vehicles, inside of all of the computering, whatever stuff in the background? Do you think
I share my thoughts.
it's learning from like what you're doing to it so that it can now program itself to survive your attack? Just saying, because you really don't really know how AI truly functions and what you can really, really do and how you can really, really control it because you can't. So, has anybody
I'm
thought of
just
that?
I'm trying to keep my mouth closed. You know how I feel about this
I'm
AI.
just saying. I'm just saying. Because you
Well,
all remember, even though this was a fictional movie, it was all based on fiction. I, Robot. It was all fiction. But some of that technology and all of that, whatever you want to call it, is real. It's actual. It's taking
it's
place
real. It's happening right now.
at this
I
very
will say
moment.
this 60 Minutes, and this is a verifiable source, you would think. 60
Mm-hmm.
Minutes, well respected, did a
Mm-hmm.
story. I want to say 23, was it 2023 or
I
2024?
know.
With AI and the advances, and they were so proud at, the way they have developed these
Mm-hmm.
robots and the
Mm-hmm.
modern advances and the things that these robots can do. The issue is they can't control it. These robots are teaching themselves. And this
Yep.
I'm getting this from listening to, again, and watching 60 Minutes,
Mm-hmm.
one of the actual people who is involved in, or the scientists developing these
Programmers or whatever you want to
robots, and
call them. Yeah,
programmers and builders
developers
and
and
all
all
this
them
stuff.
people.
And interviewing him, he literally, I will try to find that video and put it in the description. He literally admitted to, yes, these robots are doing things very well that we programmed them to do. However, they are adapting to their environments and teaching themselves to do other things or get themselves out of certain situations. That, it's kind of like logic. They've learned how to use logic.
Evolution.
Right. So, and they're fascinating. The slow down, Erica. The
Mm-hmm.
scientists are very, very fascinated behind the fact, which it is fascinating, that these robots are adapting so well and teaching themselves. The big
Yep.
issue is they don't know how to stop it. They don't know how they're doing it. And right now, we don't know how to stop it. And he literally said, because the journalist asked them. So you don't know how they're teaching themselves. And he literally says, no, we don't. So if you don't know how they're doing it, how are you going to keep up with these robots? And so when you brought up, we laughed about it. The Tesla being thrown into the water and everything, right? I was just saying, if there was ever, like iRobot, there's ever a robot that got out of control, how do you kill this robot? What are you going to do? Shoot it? It's a robot. It's metal or aluminum or whatever. So now he's in water, or the car is in water. You don't think that computer has a way of somehow getting the information with all the technology? These are cars that were supposed to be driving themselves. But you don't think that computer has a way of saying, hey, this is what's going on. Somebody in the background, is doing whatever, the programming or whatever, is teaching them what to do. So all y'all Tesla drivers, y'all might have a boat soon. Who knows?
Duh. Just, real sidebar. Like one time, one of the videos that was going around a couple of months ago was that the Tesla was driving around in a circle in the parking lot. But driving itself. And it. Okay, I'm just saying, be careful.
But America is upset with Mr. Musk, and so they are destroying or damaging Tesla property. So, and the protests. So that's another issue.
And I did,
I've seen
a couple of protests.
But I don't get the swastikas. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I don't understand. Yeah, there are people that are spraying that on Tesla buildings and cars or
because
the trucks, the Cybertrucks.
Because of his history, probably his history and the ties to how everything was overseas and the South African roots. If you were to go look at a history of him and his father or grandfather, they were tied to a lot of that.
We making America great again.
Oh, baby, we gonna make America great again, shawty. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
the panic came out then, but I'm just saying.
We as American people, we are not going for that. Sorry. And that's another reason why there's so much chaos right now in the country. But girl, what else been going on?
Okay.
In the news?
We did. Oh, I have a question. Excuse me. I have a question. This time I'm gonna get my bigger cup. Are y'all participating in the protest on April 5th?
Sit your down. I said it. No, actually, I'm just repeating.
What's the song? Drink water and mind my business. Yes.
Tell you what, when they ask what y'all doing, minding my own business.
Yes. I'm minding my own. I'm gonna pick all the drinks on that day. I'm just gonna line them in front, and I'm just gonna sip. Mind my business.
But you know what? The thing is, we've marched so much and we've protested so much. We've endured so much over hundreds of years. Listen. This particular time, it's not our fight. We tried. We tried everything we could to say, don't do this. Please don't do this.
And you didn't listen. But this is the thing. The one thing I will say, though, is that with all of the protesting that has occurred, you rarely had, like when African Americans, when whomever else was all doing all the protesting all these years, you didn't have that much participation from others. So at this point, it's like, okay, well, we see what happened when our forefathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, aunts, cousins, or whatever, marched. Well, let's see the type of reaction we get if we sit to the side and someone else goes out and does the same thing. Let's see what type of reaction or response we get here. That'll speak volumes.
When I tell you, we can start from the beginning. We gonna pull out. We're gonna pull out any I'm gonna say just caps and gowns.
Yes, y'all.
You know how we're gonna pull out in Georgia. Are we gonna? I'm just saying.
Yes, Georgia, and that's Alabama, Mississippi.
That's home for us. Are we gonna put? I mean, it started out with that. Are we burning any crosses? I'm just I'm taking this in a whole nother direction. But seriously, with the burning, I mean, are there going to be any violence? Or is there going to be any brutality? Are there going to be dogs, tear gas? I mean, even when there was you get the permits, you get you do everything like you're supposed to do, and you go march peacefully. I don't understand where the decision is made to turn this into a bigger problem with the violence because it was a peaceful protest. So I just want to, know, when they protested and scaled the Capitol. Sit your down.
Yes. Oh my good. You know what? Yes, because that's the whole thing. Let's see what that response is going to be.
Let's see. And I
Yeah.
can't quite understand why that wasn't seen as a terroristic
Now
issue
that's
or
a
matter, because
whole.
again, it is a federal building, and you have people climbing, scaling walls, reading, information on people's desks. That's like, what
Going
are you
in
doing
their offices and
in their
having a seat and
offices?
just chilling and relaxing like it's nothing. There is so much that was such the biggest lack of respect for the very base of the country.
Like, if you can't, enforce the laws, what do? You make them interpret them and enforce the laws.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Make America great again. Somebody dropped the ball purposely. So yeah, we're just gonna sit back and hopefully, it gets the attention.
The one thing I do know is like it didn't come out, but it was supposed to be like, okay, we asked, did you all need additional security? And it was like, oh no, we won't need additional security. And even if that was the case where you did say no, we won't need additional security, it was under the assumption that people would behave in a peaceful manner. And then it turned into ridiculousness.
Right.
So that's a moot
no
point to say,
reason.
oh, it was so and so, and she said that we didn't need any additional security because she trusted the people.
Right.
Okay.
If there was ever a time where their security was needed, when the National Guard should have came, it was when that you were scaling those walls. Think about it. Speaking of marches and everything, they remember back in the day with the Million Man March. It was peaceful. It was organized and all that good, worked, it was well, I won't say perfect. I wasn't there,
Right.
I was around, but it seems like everything went according to plan. So I can't figure out how you fast forward, I don't know, 30 years later, 40 years later, well, maybe 30 years, 20, 25, 30 years later, and you want to have a peaceful march, and you go about the right protocol and following all the policies and the right protocol, and yet you're still met with violence.
Exactly.
Let's see what happens. But then you have those that say a riot was not incited, but you have people scaling the walls. How is it now? If there was another country doing it, how is that any different than the towers? 9/11. How is that any different? They're scaling these walls for what? Or, you shot down a plane that was headed towards, I don't know if you shot down or whatever, but you didn't shoot it down. But the plane that was headed to the Pentagon on 9/11. And it was like, we can't let, I'm pretty, it was handled on a plane. We can't let that happen. That's our base.
That's our base. That's our foundation. That's the core of the United States. Right.
But you don't mind your own people scaling the walls and reading private information and, come on now. And then what happens? I'm a part of all of these people. Come on, y'all.
It's like, how is that even a thought? How or why is that even, how did that even occur? How are you allowed? Simply because of the title that you hold. Okay, well, I'm just going to pardon them. You all, okay, sit there for a while. Yeah, sit there for a while. I'll get you. Don't worry about it. I got you. You just sit there and chill. I got you.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
And these are great Americans. Are you kidding?
Make America great again. Sit your
whatever. Whoa. She done went to the straight and oh Lord.
Okay, moving on. Moving on. Because we
can sit on this horse forever. Okay. Anyway. So speaking of, okay. This is great. Calm down. So we know we just talked about the protest, the march on Washington, the Million Man March, all of that. So when in 1965, I think it was 60 something, Strom Thurmond had a 24-hour filibuster opposing the Civil Rights Act. That was the longest speech, nonstop. But in that one, I think they did have bathroom breaks and something else for that time. So he really didn't do 24 full hours because he did take breaks and stop. Let's fast forward to 2025, March. What's today? April. Okay, so you have Senator Cory Booker. He's not opposing any particular bill or trying to go against or go for or push any particular bill. This is a stance to say, hey, what's happening around us, this chaos has to stop. We are doing what we can, everything we can. This has to stop. So how does he do his way? He speaks for 25 and 4 minutes straight. None. He didn't take a bathroom break like Strom's old segregation itself. He continued 25 full hours and 4 minutes.
Talk about taking a stand.
That's the stand he took and did not sit down. Speaking of taking a stand, he did not sit down.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
Yes,
But think about
yes.
it. Take about. You know, he took a stand. You know, as we grew up being told, or how we were raised, I would hope everyone was raised with the same mentality. You know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And America is showing.
But this is the thing. That's the
It's
thing.
showing it's time to stand. Yeah.
The one thing that stood to me, simply because regardless of the side of the fence you fall on, whether you're pro-Trump, whether you're not pro-Trump, regardless, it's a human being who stood and spoke for 25 hours straight and 4 minutes. So that alone, if for no other reason than the fact that he did that, that's kudos to him. So you can say that was the dumbest thing. I don't care if it was the dumbest thing or the smartest thing. He did it.
Yep, that's his stand. But like you said, regardless of what your political party is, because at this point right now, it does not matter. I'm so sick of, you know, Republican, a Democrat, independent, and all this. I'm sick of it. And I'm trying not to be so passionate about it, but I am so sick of it. At this point in time is choosing the right, who you feel is the right person for the job based on their experiences, their history, their moral standards, what they believe in. Does it line up with yours, their platform? You know, you got to take all that into consideration before you, you know, decide what. However, regardless of whether you're, you know, Democrat or I'm a Republican, at the end of the day, we got to still live in this country.
Yep.
And let's go back to, I just had his name, y'all. Menopause killing me. Let's go back to 90, early 90s or whatever. Can we all just get along? Can we all just get along?
Yes.
I'm just saying. Because at this point, we all got to live together. And it just seems like what they're trying to do is pit everyone against each other. But what you don't understand is, if I have this group upset and I have this other group upset and they're fighting each other and the country is in chaos, that opens the doors for other countries to say they're distracted. Let's go do what we need to do, or what we want to do.
Yep. And that's what we're trying to do. I'm like, no, you have to. The one thing he said in there, it's not about right or left. It's about right and wrong. I'm like, that would have been the whole freaking thing, period. Because at this point, that's what it is. Bump your red, bump your blue, bump your donkey, bump your elephant. I don't care about all that. Because like you said, everybody has to live in this space as one. At some point, we have to come to some connection and say, this little spot in the middle, we can start here and we can move forward. Period.
Right.
And it was like, this is ridiculous. Or else, guess what? We're going to be looking crazy talking about, where did the Terminator come from? Come from because you over here crying about some doggone whatever.
What happened?
Your president happened. That's what he's doing, trying to create all this over here. So everybody's looking over here, but nobody's paying attention to what's happening right there. And that's what's
putting us in a horrible situation. And I've thrown this out a couple of times where I really don't know. I really want to research it. But at what point do you start considering treason? Like, how bad does it have to get to
let's not
where
find out.
This country, I hope not, that this country starts turning into a dictatorship?
Nope.
You get what I'm saying? It's slowly. We're not going to, but you know, like we said, right or wrong, you know, we just trying to, you know, instead of making it, what do you say? Make America great again. How about let's just make America great? Let's put everything together and let's come together as a whole. But anyway, girl, I think we should
make it great. Keep it moving. Boots on the ground.
Wait,
that's my fan sound.
Wait, hold on. What is it? Wait.
I'm done. You know what? I gotta find me a fan. But I think we get tired of boots on the ground. I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
Okay, y'all. Okay. But that's a good segue. Well, sort of kind of about, you know, doing what's right and what's wrong and everything. Let's talk about Miss, and I do mean legendary, one of my favorite actresses, one of the most, I don't know, classy women.
That's a word I've seen a lot of.
Not classy. Met. Yeah, elegant. I have not met, but it appears to be very classy, very Miss Phylicia Rashad. Who has gone viral with her
Yes,
Breakfast Club
that.
interview.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, ladies, we need to talk. Ladies,
Ladies,
ladies, that's my girl. Ladies,
we need to have a conversation about
ladies.
that whole situation, and we need to know some things. Because the conversation, because like when I listen to it, I'm like, okay, I see the context. Because I had forgotten, like I told her before, I was like, I forgot she was a dean at Howard. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And she had taught there also. I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot about that part. So it makes sense to what she said.
And we attended. We did. We attended a HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
So we
And we're
know
roommates. Can
we
y'all
were.
believe that? Wiley Hall. Okay, anyway. I'm just
Well, girl, don't make me spit all over this camera. You're now freshman year crabs. Remember
what?
that?
Okay. Straight
And
crabs. Ridiculous.
what y'all don't know, how
Oh
smart we
Lord.
are, regardless of how we act and cut up and all that good stuff. We both graduated high school at 17. So
I'm done. Got my little piece of paper. I'm out. Bye.
okay, anyway, back to Miss Rashad and her. I don't know where you want to start. I actually want to jump straight into,
Go
because
for it.
it's about the ladies, and she was
Mhm.
trying to educate and school the women, and she mentioned the HBCU on campus and how she's taken aback by
Mhm.
young women, beautiful, and she's like beautiful, which y'all are gorgeous women, beautiful women, walking around campus or on campus in strips of
Strips of
clothing
cloth.
or cloth. Now,
That's what. Yeah.
there's another form, not really form,
No, not that.
strips.
I don't even think she was referencing that. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. She just said strips of cloth. That's all she said. That's all the lady
She was
said.
trying to
That's
be
all she said.
nice. I'm not in that generation. I'm in that following generation, y'all.
Not the
So
following one. She said the following
the
generation.
following generation. So we've got, they're very eloquent with their speech and very
They
careful.
really are. I
They
have.
really
You
are.
know what? That is
Most of
true.
them. Most
Most.
of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Very,
That's true.
just because, again, it is a generational thing. So we'll get to the comments that were made by the younger generation about Miss Rashad's comment. But it's a generational thing. She was, that boomer age where that's very, very well put together. And but by the time it got to us, the Gen X crew, we were like, yes, we have our education. Yes, we are. Now we're independent too.
Of
Not that
course.
they
Of
were not
course.
independent, but we kind of took things to another level.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying this to say, she said strips. Did she say strips of clothing or strips of cloth?
One or two. Mm-hmm.
Well, people that wear strips of clothing and
Here
cloth.
she go with her strips.
This is my 2 cents, but this is our 2 cents. But those who wear strips of clothing and strips of cloth are generally labeled, back in our day, I don't know what they're called now. I think they're called dancers. But
Girl.
back in the Gen X days, they were, the strips of cloths and strips of clothing, stripper kind of, just saying. I'm
I'm
not
done with
putting
her.
words in her mouth. This is just mine. This is not Miss Phylicia. She did not say that. This is all me. But I do think we need to have a conversation about what she said and why some of our nieces
I
or
think the
daughters.
standards, yeah, I think the standards they differ because, like you said, from generation to generation, it's where they come from. Where if you're going outside of the home, you're going. You got gloves, you got your purse on your elbow. You're going even in the home. You weren't walking around looking, crazy or any kind of way
We're not walking around with the bonnet and the
in the
big
house or out.
slippers.
Just saying. But then come us, I think for us, it was more like, okay, it may not be so tied up to some man, like fresh out of high school, they get married. And it's like, no, go do your life first or do your life a little bit more. Then you go get married because a lot
Wait.
of them did.
Oh, you talking about our generation?
Yeah, the
I was gonna
boomer
say that other
generation.
generation. No man, that's why I'm like, who told her that? Yeah, they did. Girl, that was what
That's
they
what I'm saying.
told
They
you.
did. Yeah, the boomer like 10, they got married quick, soon, quick. They were in there.
Well, think about high school home ec, the trades. You go learn how
Yes.
to be a homemaker. You need to learn how to
Yes.
sew. We
Mm-hmm.
took home ec, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to sew, cook, clean.
Yep.
Just whatever it takes to run the household.
Shout out to Emma Brown at Lakeside High School.
Whoop,
Home
whoop.
economics.
Home economics. I can crochet like Noah. You need a blanket, girl.
And you know
Just
what else? You know what? I just thought about what you're saying that because the whole idea of us liking to do like the crochet, the cross stitch, the sewing, the any of those little crafty type things is like you were in school doing that all the time. That's when
yeah,
something you were doing as a hobby at the house, so it's like second
yeah,
nature. So
yeah.
pushing forward to the next one, there was no home ec. There was none of that unless somebody in your home or in your life was doing it. So it may not
Right,
be, as tied to a younger generation than it would be for us.
right,
Like it's
right.
possible. Mm-hmm.
I just
I don't
felt
know.
like I felt like she was unfairly attacked
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
her comment, because the thing, and it wasn't so much of her comment with, dress more, respect. She was trying to say respect yourselves. And then she added more importantly, and I think that's where things went wrong for
Mm-hmm.
those, not me, because I agreed with her, was she mentioned a man, no
Mm-hmm.
man, I wrote it down. More importantly than that, no man wants his woman to be out like that. Let me just say this. I agree 100% with you. Now, it depends on the man that you're with. If you're with the
Yep.
man that's just out here having a good time, I'm just listening. Listen, I ain't trying to be held down. I ain't trying to be in a relationship. And he may not say it. Y'all know it when he ain't trying to be with you. He's just trying to do, I'm just trying to hit it.
I'm just trying to do me.
Said it. I said it. So he doesn't care what you're looking like. Matter of fact, he may use that as, I'm just saying this, advertisement. Yeah, look what look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting this. And I'm just gonna say this, y'all grown. Look, I'm getting this every night, or this sheet, whatever. Now each man has his own thing. He may want his woman to be, out like that just as,
Mm-hmm.
as a trophy. That's just my thoughts. But when you settle down, the ones that you're taking home to meet mama or the
Mm-hmm.
family, trust and believe. He not taking the one with the strips of clothing or strips of cloth. Because
Mm-hmm.
mama, if I had a son, because I know you. Okay. Hey, how you doing? All right. Nice to meet you. And that's probably about all I'm going to give
Mm-hmm.
you at that time, because I don't think he's serious. I'll have a conversation with my son, like, son, let's talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
This
to
is
each his
okay.
own.
The one thing is I'm listening, I'm like, it's not so different, but it is different because look at it now compared to before. Because some men and some women, they may care less about taking somebody home to mom and daddy and auntie because they may
True.
not have that type of structure. And then some people don't care there because if they do, guess what? I'm a grandma, ma, and I wear strips of cloth and clothing too. So I feel like, hey, kindred spirits here. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we put something on
Yeah.
besides just
I
a strip?
yeah.
I mean, where
I
does the standard lie? Because everybody's different. Okay, great, you can be different. But at some point, you get mad because somebody say something to you. I
I'm
want to come
trying to choose a
outside and I
color.
want the
Right now, I'm
attention.
trying to choose a color. I might do red, because this is,
Also,
yes.
y'all see her pen. Put that pen up. Do you remember that pen from 1978? You see
I
that?
bet you didn't have this many colors.
And why? But
Right.
you can wear what you want to wear. That's true. Wear whatever you feel your little heart's content. But please understand, sometimes there's going to be some type of statement that may come your way.
Right. You
It's not
remember that?
right.
Right. It's
Period. It's
not. You
not
remember
right,
that
but
whole
it's
thing?
happening.
You remember that whole, we learned it. I taught my kids this. I'm pretty sure you taught your daughter this. You have one chance to make a first impression. When you
Mm-hmm.
enter a room, when somebody first lay eyes on you, they've already, for whatever reason, they've already formulated their opinion
Yep.
or who you are within less than a second. And y'all women know, come on, young and old, shoot, we in a millisecond, because by the time we do the top to bottom, we're done. We already know everything there is about you. Girl, I know she can put them shoes on with that outfit. I know darn well. Her friend and tell her to put on the shape of everything jiggling. Okay, she knows she got them rolls. We do that to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when it comes to dressing, there's a time and a place. Girl, remember when India Ari, we're going to take this back a few years
Okay.
ago with
Okay.
the
Okay. Okay.
Essence
Okay.
Fest.
Yeah.
Remember India Ari made a comment, and I was with her on that too. And she got the backlash because the women, there was the Essence Fest, which is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be all about women, uplifting women, that sort of thing. But yet they had that twerking. It was whatever concert or whoever was performing, and some women, not all the women, some women went on stage and they gave their best twerking moments. And I thought it wasn't the place, it wasn't the time nor the place. Now, I'm not saying y'all go listen, everybody got to let loose, do your thing. But there's a time and a place. The Essence Fest was not it. And it made those who, to me, I felt the founders, the ones who this was their brainchild. I'm pretty sure this wasn't what they imagined.
They had in mind. Right. And that's the thing. I think a lot of that, like some of the not statements, but like if you look at some of their social media or whoever's running it, you can tell the difference as far as some of the comments that are made and things. It's like it's a change, it's a shift. And then some will say, oh, it's a shift, it's the 30s and the late 30s, early 30s, whoever is doing all of that. And it's a shift and a change, but the essence of Essence Fest is still the same. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No. Not when you're on stage twerking.
No, it's not. It's no different. Okay, let's say this. It's no different than Freaknik. We did an episode on Freaknik. It's no different. Freaknik started out as a very simple picnic gathering for college students who were unable to go home during spring break. So they decided, you know what, we'll have our own spring break picnic here. Now, the name Freaknik, I forgot how they came up with that, but y'all remember the song Freak Out and all that, I don't know. It could have been just trending at the time. I don't know. Freaknik was supposed to have been just a gathering place for college students to take, you may not, you can't go to the beach, or we're not going to the beach. Come here and we're going to enjoy ourselves. And as time went on, because we also was there that was our era. Yes, it got out of control, really bad.
And we stopped going.
Let me say this, young ladies. The reason why I feel so passionate about what Phylicia Rashad said is because at one point, believe it or not, we were young women and we did things.
Young woman. Anyway,
you look good too, girl. For real, we were young women, and we didn't always listen. I know I didn't. And I had to learn things the hard way. But I'm going to say this. We went to Freaknik, and at the time I went with a friend of mine who was a little more risque than my comfort zone. And she also, I'm just going to say it, but the girl, her body was banging. And she just boom, bam, pow. The whole hair, natural long hair, and oh, yes. So I'm going to say this, in my younger heyday, I felt like, you know what? You ain't going to give me the scrubs. How come I'm going to end up with the scrubs? So I decided I'm going to take it up a notch. And I wasn't comfortable, but I decided to put on this outfit, which was, just a halter bodysuit, no biggie. But it also I put on a very fitted mini skirt, black. It was monotone. It was black. I know, Michelle, but it was black. And I went on, and I didn't feel comfortable because I wasn't showing anything. However, everything was so form fitting, and I'm at Freaknik and I'm walking around or whatever. And of course the big old cameras, up here.
Yes.
But it was a group of guys that said, hey, can we get a picture? And we're like, okay, cool. We'll get a picture with you. Fine. And as soon as we get, me and my friend got in front of a car. I don't remember the car because I was just kind of like, it's time to go. This is my last time being here. When they snapped the photo, just were like, we're leaning, it's the 90s. So you leaning back on the car and, kind of doing your pose and get ready. And it was two guys, or a guy on each side of us. And out of the blue, this guy that was next to me, I don't know how much or whatever, my friend said she saw it. I won't call out names who she was. But they took that money, that cash, and stuck it right in the cleavage area. I don't know whether they got the picture or not, because as soon as, thank God for friends, as soon as that cash went into my cleavage, they were getting ready to snap the picture. My friend saw it and she reached over and snatched it. Oh, no, you're not. So I don't know if they got a picture of her hand or what. And I'm like, I don't know. But I felt like this one particular day, I decided to wear something that was a little more risque than I would normally wear. And look what it got me. So, of course, I felt cheap. I felt disrespected. And just because I wore it doesn't mean he had any right to do it. But however,
if the thought then could have been, if I had on my normal or what I usually wear, would that still have occurred? So
Right.
it's like, I don't like it. I don't
Right.
appreciate it.
Right.
Mm-mm.
However,
And then the thing you speak on as far as the company that you keep or the company that you kept, because if it's a group of ladies, we seem to be, more akin to let's just do what the group is doing. So if you have your group and everybody has on strips of cloth, one going up and down, one going across, one going diagonal, then hey, we bad. You can't tell us
right.
nothing because we all that.
Right.
So do we still need the strips of cloth or can we put on a little something? And this is another thing. Even if you have on, you're tucked in from head to toe, you're covered and the only thing showing is your eyes. That still, you never know what may occur or what may not occur. This is true. Absolutely
Yeah.
true.
You
It's
can't
just,
control it.
it,
You never know what anybody says, but I think what she was trying to say is, I'm sorry to cut you off. I think she
you
was
good.
trying to say is just have more respect for yourselves. And I think things went haywire when she brought up the men or
Mm-hmm.
why, and because there was one young lady who made a video and she was commenting on what Miss Rashad said, and she
Mm-hmm.
mentioned how she was kind of on board with everything, but that's a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all older women, y'all need to let that go and come up. It's 2025. You need to come up with, y'all are attending, and I'm just going to say it, screw it. Y'all attending award ceremonies with your boobs out. And I mean, I know Lil' Kim did it, but hey, we were mad about that too. But you're just walking around.
I
You're
think
supposed
each
to be in a
generation
gown.
though, each generation has that, and it's just like,
Yeah.
at what is there a point, or I guess the question would be, is there a point, or at what point can we say, okay, you know what? Even though you can do it and you have a right to do it, and you can wear whatever strips of cloth you want to do, is that really necessary?
They're gonna say I should be able to wear what I want when, and you should, but
You should.
also know what comes with it. So that's what I think what she was
Mm-hmm.
saying. Like I said, you got what, less than a second to put it, people make their
Mm-hmm. Make
first
first
impression
impression.
of you
Mm-hmm.
within a second. As soon as you walk in the room, listen, I'm sorry. Even let's okay, I don't want to, keep downing or not really downing, but
Mm-hmm.
discussing the new generation. So I'm just going to go back to our generation. Remember, little Kim went to the Grammys or American Music Awards with the pasty
Mm-hmm.
on, and Diana Ross is like, oh, it's super, just the dumb stuff. We didn't like it then. It was still like, okay, kind of
Yep.
thing. Whereas
Yep.
now it's just the norm. This is what we do. What happened to, like you said, the Miss Rashad's generation, where you came in the elegant gowns and
Mm-hmm.
this is the one night you get to go all out and show your personality, or, whatever
They
designer
show
says, hey,
personality, they show persons. What's old girl, what's his face wife at this time now? She went to the wars and she was naked. This is recent.
Kanye.
Kanye West's wife. She went to the war, she was naked. But somebody had something to say about that. But you're the same ones who want to walk out with their strips of cloth. I'm just saying, whoever it is and whatever it is. At some point, I mean, come
Say it again.
on.
Say it again, girl.
I want to know what's in that cup. I want to know what is in that cup.
It's mango sweet tea.
Oh my gosh. She about to
Um,
be off the
I
Lord.
am. This is a big old cup.
Yeah.
But no, for real, you got to repeat that, because that right
That's
there
it's just
is on
I
point.
really, you have something to say about her wearing nothing, but you walk around just with that. And it's nothing generational. It's nothing about a woman's size or appearance that has anything to do with quote unquote hating on anybody who wants to wear whatever they don't want to wear. It has
Yeah,
nothing to do with that. It's just simply, to me, it seems like it's just a certain standard that you
it
have.
is.
You walk out the door and you can still, if you want to have the attention or feel like the attention, there are always alternatives to that. It's
There's
always.
different levels. Different ways that you
Hmm.
can. If you just feel like I feel sexy, that is fine.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean you have to be naked. You know what I mean? That does not
No,
mean
no.
you have to completely undress and show everything like the older generation, our generation. Let me tell you something. My dad has said it best. If you gonna do it, at least try to fool somebody. And
Uh-huh,
that's in it.
uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
I took that and I try to apply that in my everyday life, for real. There's certain things where I'm like, you know what? I like this look. I like this, but I'm not too confident, or I don't feel comfortable exposing that much. So you know what? I may just, I mean, look, I got on, I'm a curvy girl and I got on it's a dress, but spaghetti straps almost. So my arms are out and all that good stuff. And people, y'all ladies get all upset about the size of your arms. They're your arms. That's what was given to you. If you don't like it, then, you don't have to cover them up, do something about it. But those are what God gave you. I don't care. I'm aware. But at the same time, I'm not going to put, this, let's just say it's a cami, and then put on some, y'all don't call them biking shorts anymore. What do they call them? The little leg biking shorts. I'm not going to put that on together. Mm-hmm. Y'all may. I know some people, ain't gonna call no names, but I know people that do it on a regular basis. And yes, I still say, hey, you don't have to do all of that. Let's just put it this way. I have done that before, but what I have done is I take a jacket. If I don't fit a shirt and a biking shorts or whatever, I take a jacket and I tie it around my waist. So I'm not showing everything. And yet I still feel, I still look put together, but I'm not showing everything. You get what I'm saying? So ladies, all Miss Rashad was trying to say is, all Miss Ari was trying to say, Miss Sherry Shepherd, all us aunties and grandmas.
Yeah, she said something too. Mm-hmm.
All we're saying is, please, y'all, let's do better.
And I think part of it, because I just thought about it too, part of all the murmurings about what she said had to do with assuming that the young ladies are wanting the attention of men.
Right. That's
and where you may not want the attention of men. You may,
but you're gonna get it,
because typically what you see when you see someone trying to get attention, you want it from men. So that's from the thought, probably from that perspective of that generation, because that's what the women may have been doing.
Right. And she's just again
trying to get the attention of a man, and I just really I feel sexy, and
you're
when
gonna
I have this and I have that. No, ma'am, you're looking at social media, because a lot of that stuff comes from the social media perspective. A lot of it comes from you looking around and seeing what is getting the views. So I guarantee, let some of your bigger names or your wider known names come fully dressed, come fully covered in something that's not form fitting. The entire trajectory is going to shift. And if you say I'm lying, you lying to yourself, because that's exactly what it is. You're following somebody doing something, period.
Yes.
Whatever.
This is our 2 cents. And
it's our 2 cents.
Or I said earlier, I didn't listen to everything my elders may have said. Let me put it this way. I may not have done everything or followed the advice some of my elders have said. However, the things that they did tell me and taught me, I did find out as I grew older, they were 100% correct. How they know is because they lived it, y'all. Yeah. We've been 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Can I get a 25, 26, 27? Can I get a 30, 25? We've lived it. We've been there. We've seen it. I've gone out. Come on, yeah. Certain times you're going to look at that girl, them days Dukes on. Don't get it. Don't get it. I mean, It does. Y'all know which one. Y'all know which one.
Saying, but this thing, even if I had put on a Daisy Duke, which I did, there was not going to be a crop top with a Daisy Duke. It's not going to be. It's going to be a balance. That's what I'm looking for. This is a balance. It's not going to be all the time either, because I'm not going to do all.
Your tops and your bottoms, and it's just a fashion thing. Should not all be. But anyway, y'all, all we're saying is, I don't think she meant it to get under any skin. She said with all due respect, but I do feel like, young ladies, please, 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 please give her a chance and listen. Don't shoot everything down. You don't know everything.
Right.
We don't know everything, but we know where you are. We have lived it. We've experienced it. I mean, shoot, there's times you can go out, honey. You can go out in the biggest sweatpants and the dingiest t-shirt. I'm just running here to Walmart. I'm running here to pump gas. And there's I'm not saying always, but every woman has had some man, woman, whatever you like, approach you and you like, really?
So it's not about, Yeah.
So, and then you're like, I don't, boy, gone, that kind of thing. So it's just the fact that I think she's just trying to say, y'all, wear your strips of clothing to the beach. That's what it's used for. You go and swim in bathing suit, but throw that on, handle it. Pool party, do your thing. Running into Walmart, I would say Target, but I hope y'all ain't going to Target. But running into Walmart, that's my 2 cents. Wondering wherever you're shopping, can we please do a better job? Can we take those bonnets off? Can we take those slippers off and you got flip flops? I'm just saying, you got slides. You just stick your feet in them. Leave the
pajamas at
pajamas.
home. Don't wear the
You know what I mean?
pajamas and the slides on the plane. Just saying. But that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day, because it's just a whole lot. That's men and women. That's boys and girls. That's males and females. Can y'all please just, okay. I'm not saying suits and dresses with the gloves like back in the day, but no bonnets, do rags, and all that.
Can we get our essence? Just get our essence back.
I like that. And on that note, ladies, we're going to tell you all have a good evening, good weekend, and good Thursday night.
One question. Quick question. We're going to end it with this, because my kid asked me this and I never really thought about it. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes, because I'm like, I never thought about it. And I'm not as expensive. But she was over in Dubai not too long ago, and she mentioned, she just called and she just mentioned, she says, well, I don't understand. So, and I'm sorry, y'all, I don't know what it's called, but the attire that, some of the Muslim or Nation of Islam, the Muslim women wear from head to toe, the black, I don't know what it's called. And all you see are the eyes. That's it. She asked me, I guess maybe she saw a group of them. And she said, well, how do you tell who's who? Like, how do you know? Like, if I walked up to a group and I say, that's Michelle right there, and everybody, all I see is eyes. I don't know. It was a good question.
It is.
And then I just thought about
it. But if you give it a quick thought, I would be like, okay, the eyes. But if they were turned away from you.
But what if everybody's the same height? Well, you can't tell the size because they got on the entire, everything's covered, and it's from here to here. I don't even know if you see the eyebrows from here. Like, all you see is the eyes. And so let's just say, we're 5'4", 5'5", and we got a bunch of other 5'4", 5'5" curvy women, and all you see is the eyes. I want you. How you gonna tell who's who? I mean, everybody have different shape eyes, so I mean, some people will be obvious, but I never thought about. But they're covered though. They don't have to worry.
When you said people have certain shape eyes, are you talking about my eyes, or what are you talking about?
I ain't said nothing about your Asian inspired eyes. I'm just asking. I hadn't said a word about your Asian inspired eyes. I hadn't said a word.
But a hit dog will holler every time, right? Because I'm sure, like, what's she talking about? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look here, mango mama.
Y'all. Anyway, that's our 2 cents. This was a fun conversation. Yep, I know we did a episode, a couple of episodes ago, about the state of the U.S. right now. So this is kind of like similar, but we really wanted to focus on Miss Rashad and kind of talking to our nieces, daughters, granddaughters, friends, sisters, besties, all of that. But then we thought about all the other stuff that's going on. Come on, America, we got to get it together. We got to get it together. Yes. Bad, quick. Ladies, put your clothes on. You can still, y'all still fabulous. You still cute though.
Put your clothes on.
Put your clothes on. You got to put the boots on the ground. You ready?
I'm just mad because I don't have a fan.
You don't have. I don't have a fan. I'm using a planner.
Oh, but I'm just saying I don't have something that can like be a good planner. Be a good fan.
Well, use your hand, girl. Just saying. I don't know.
Use my hand.
All I know, y'all get your boots, your cowboy hats, and I tell you what, I guarantee you.
They got about 15, 11 dances. They got about 50, 11 dances beyond the basic boots on the ground dance now. So it's gonna be some other song. It's gonna be some other dance by the time we get to wherever we going. So we're gonna have to learn it.
I tell you one thing, they better play over and over the one dance I learned, because there's a lot of steps.
I'm so done with her, y'all.
Older and you don't do this on the break, you got to think my state eating iguana eggs. So I'm not. I don't know.
You know what?
We're gonna end it. We're gonna end it.
You got a point.
So, all right, y'all. Next week. What's going on next week?
Next week we are nope. Because that's what's next week. That's our conversation.
Yes. Who we conversating with? I had to find my calendar, y'all, because I can't remember. Yeah. It doubles as my fan. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, now what's going on now? Let's see here. What we
Okay.
doing? Hold on, what
Next,
color?
see, I told y'all thought I was playing. She's so serious right now. She is so serious, and that's
Yeah,
what's funny to me because she is so for real.
yeah.
Let me
We
see.
got celebrity combo
Yeah,
conversation with a legend, y'all. With a legend. With a legend.
and
So
I really want
get
y'all to
your
hear his. Not the latest songs. I think the latest song. I don't know if it's out yet. I think he said it wasn't out yet, but it's one from last year that he had out, and I'm like, it's a nice little bop. I can't even lie. It is. It's a
Mr.
nice little bop.
Mr. Billy Brown. Yay! Y'all don't
From
know who Mr.
Ray Goodman and Brown. Y'all know. Okay, if y'all
Yeah,
our age or a little bit older, y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all are
y'all
a
know.
little bit less than us
Google
and
it.
younger, go look it up. Look
Yeah,
it up.
legends,
Mm-hmm.
legends. All this stuff y'all are doing now, you can kind of thank him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
He
wrote
already
a
done
lot
it.
of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of sampling of.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't mean stuff. I'm sorry, their music. There's some sampling of their music. So we have celebrity combo with Mr. Brown next week. So y'all want to hear what's been going on, what his life was like,
Mm-hmm.
during their recording and
That's
their
him here. And he's the
touring.
last living member of Ray Goodman and Brown also. And
So
he's on it.
he's sharp. Oh, he's sharp. So we can't wait. So on that note, we hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell us what you think about all the stuff. Your Tesla drivers, y'all okay? Just want to know. Baby girl, y'all will be all right. We don't want to offend y'all. It's all right. We just trying to help. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts. That's our 2 cents, and we're going to end it on that.
Yes,
That's
ma'am. Have a
all right.
good evening.
See you next week. Bye.